Real quick. Peace, love, and infinite power. Peace, love, and infinite power. I am Source Energy, God King Malik, here with my beautiful melanated McCullers clan, the royal melanated McCullers clan, here to share some real stuff. I want to give everybody the opportunity to say, give gratitude and everything. But I want to say first and foremost, I'm very honored and grateful to be here based upon just life and things that are going on. I'm so grateful. And we've really got some breakthroughs to share. We got some real life, real life. You know what I mean? We want to share because we know people are going through some of this stuff that we're going through, and we just want to we got to put it on the slab because we're here to help our family. We're here to help our culture. We're here to help the humanity, the planet vibration raise already. So, everyone, without further ado, you may introduce yourself. Goddess, you may go first.
Hello, I am Cassandra.
Speak up, please.
Oh, you can hear me?
Just speak up a little bit.
Okay, hi, I'm Cassandra.
That's it? You're not going to, maybe. Okay. Y'all introduce yourself, okay? Come on, let's go. Because y'all know what the objective is this for me. It's not scripted. It's not none of that. It's an objective to this for me. So let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Infinite healing and wellness be within you. Malik Nasir McCullers, also known as KS3 Revolutionary, here with Disloyalty amongst love. How do we recover? Definitely looking forward to the insight and foresight that we are able to share throughout this episode. Please open your mind, heart, body, and soul to be willing enough to receive what is coming your way because it is all authenticity. Ashe.
My name is Malik Lamar McCullers, also known as King Son the First in Christ's creation. I greatly appreciate everybody who tunes in, anybody who can benefit from it. I will intend that y'all do.
My name is Malik Hamama Colors, King Son the Fourth. Beyond grateful to be here, especially to make a now change and forever permanent change. That's what we are all set and destined to do.
Very grateful to have you here. Grateful to have all of you here. But y'all know the circumstances. We are very well grateful indeed, to say the least. So y'all loosen up because it's not, like I said, it's not scripted. We gotta talk, and we want it to be known that if anybody can, give confirmation to credibility of a family that really is on the ground with boots tied up all the way to your ankles and really in the field with it, us coming to the table and explaining, just sharing some things will automatically prove that. Not even for the accolades, not for the accolades, it's for the strengthening of my further generations, for who you see on the camera plus who they tribe with, who we, continue to build with. And all we desire is for everyone to have a pleasant experience in this. We know we get to choose, so all is well. So next, whoever wants to introduce themselves, do you want to reintroduce yourself, or are they going? Okay, you guys can handle that, and then she's going to get to hers. So all is well.
Okay. Hey everyone, my name is Amina McCullers, also known as September Royalty, amongst other things, but you see the name that shows up right now. Anyway, I'm very grateful to be here, to be able to share on this subject, disloyalty amongst love. How do we recover? Because we have disloyalty. With that, amongst love, there is ways to recover, even if you're not really sure right off how exactly. But we're here to share how we overcame that and more. And I'm grateful to be here with all of you because of the fact that there are plenty of experiences in our lives in which we could not be here together at the same time. So I'm grateful that we are. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much. My name is Malik McCullers, also known as King Son II. I greatly appreciate everybody who watches this. I will that our experiences assist everybody to a different perspective of things because, man, we've been through some things, and I'm looking forward to seeing if anything that we have done or have had to go through can assist somebody who may be going through something similar or on a different level that they think might be so hard. But willfully, whatever we provide is a solution to whatever you think has been a hard problem for you. And I would that everybody who tunes in enjoys what we have to offer.
Great. Next.
And my name is Cassandra McCullers, and I am looking forward to my family and I sharing our experiences with you all, and hopefully, it will assist you all through your experiences that may be similar or maybe even more severe, but hopefully, this is a learning experience for you all as well. So, thank you for joining and hearing our stories.
All is well. So, without further ado, I was just going to say a few questions before we get into, I guess, the detail of some of the things that have impacted us personally. I had wrote a couple of notes, and like I said, it's not scripted, so it's not like I'm attempting to be any kind of way organized, other than getting the information out as I know source as it has commanded me to do. You know what I'm saying? I love you all first and foremost, and y'all know from the perspective of what I overstand, understand, what I understand, overstand, and understand. I know what love is, and it's the perspective of what what is in each one of us, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to kind of like debunk anything about what you can get past some things if you really, really go into the criteria of love and know what it is. So, a few questions that I wanted to ask you all, especially as your father and me, having to go through some of the things, and I just want to I want to give this. Okay, I want to give this a few things that have taken place. Now, I've been doing everything I can as a father of 12. The business owners, we're doing what we can in terms of taking care of everything we do. We have to do. I'm a caregiver to my parents. Take care of the household. We actually have animals. We now breed as service animals and stuff, and we're in the motion, like what I mean, just doing what we can to get more organic to the source. And that's what I've been doing as I've made my transformation, or as I've grown and elevated from different sects of life and experiences, which have been, of course, the foundation of a spiritual thing or belief or a religion and things of that nature. So I've had to walk that down. I've had to literally go through the whole process, learn different ones, literally live them out, go through the ups and downs and the sides to sides, the as above, the so belows, and me thinking that if I believe this, what would take place, as well as going through several of them like that, being very committed to Al Islam for 20 plus years. I mean, committed. Matter of fact, coming to the understanding of, after doing so many in intentions as the culture has you to do in prayer and everything, you get to start intending what you desire for yourself, because it's a structure of like expression or creation. So when you get to intending things for higher vibrational realm, and you got all this love energy around you that you're raising these children and everything, you tend to come into different circumstances of awareness. And as I did that, one of the awarenesses, I started going into Hinduism. I got into Buddhism, and then after just comparing everything, I just woke up on my 40th birthday, literally like on my 40th birthday, like, what the hell am I doing? Like what? And I realized at that point, I had, really created the fact that I am source. I am all that I am. But I still have to put that into resonance, because years of thinking that everything else is above me, or I'm searching or reaching outside of it, I'm still, I had to still reconstruct things. Okay. So that process, very reconstructed now, very awakened, very shaken by the things that, as I've awakened, as above gotten so high, I had to be knocked down, had to be put back in the space of knowing that, yeah, it is as above, so below. The higher you get, believe me, equally at that time is your low vibration. That is equal. So we have the experiences, we got the receipts to prove it. Like, so it is what it is. But throughout that, as I built up my loyalty and trust with my family, especially my young kings, that hasn't happened so much in the reverse side. And it's been, they know, they trust me, they know I got them, they know I protect them, they know they don't have shit to worry about when it comes down to that. But when it comes down to certain communications about things that they think that I may judge them about, they, even though I told them, come to me about anything, you want to try anything, you want to do drugs, you want to do anything, come to me first, and I'll provide that opportunity. Because if you go do it with anybody else, especially if you're younger than you're supposed to be, and first of all, this was me giving the instruction as a result of it being given to me as a child, and it took away my desire to want to do drugs. Okay. So I'm not saying I told my children, yo, let's go smoke some crack, let's go do some whatever the hell. It's not like that. What I did was gave them the opportunity first to come to me, because I will be able to respond. Like my father told me, if you go do this with some young children and something happens, you have an asthma attack or you have a seizure or something or anything, they're going to run and leave you for dead because they're going to be scared. They weren't supposed to be doing it. It's that. At least you do it with me the first time, I'll be able to identify if you really need to do this or not. And then I can tell you as your father in your face while we're doing it together, because it's not nothing you're going to ask me to do that I'm not going to do with you. If you ask, just don't go out there and try this on your own. And that really kind of took away the desire to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? And then I had the freedom to know that I could do it whenever I want. So when I did want to smoke weed, I went straight to my father, and he smoked weed with me, and I was in there shadow. But I remember that such so vividly. But I never wanted to really do other drugs, and I wasn't around him the latter part of my life. But I just, because I was in this type of lifestyle I never really wanted to just do drugs. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. But that doesn't take away what I did want to do, because the aggression for addiction to want to do something is still active. You know what I'm saying? It does not go away, because of you say what you don't want. It's like a desire that if you don't, respectfully clear out of your shadow some type of a way, then it's just gonna hunt you. But in that, I built up the loyalty, thought the loyalty was built up more so than it was before I found out. When I found out, it was crisis after crisis. It was situations jumping off that I'm finding out that, they'll communicate with each other. They got a lot of secrets between each other, but half of them don't come to me because they don't want their shit to be exposed amongst each other. So that kept a lot of things from me. That kept them from being able to share with me. And that's another thing. So peers will live, brothers and sisters, they'll stick together, like even when they don't really seem to get along. If it's to keep us from knowing, they, believe me, they got us. Hey, salute. They will hold that thing together without you knowing. You'll have to damn near, do some real hectic things to get somebody to spill the beans, or they'll be at a point where they just can't take what they're doing so much that they'll come and express to you something that that now you have to talk to them about it, and you just get it from that. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things, but I built up that. Now my loyalty is real. My love is real, and see, so here, just based upon that, they know how I feel about them, and I've proven it. I think the action or what we're speaking about now through their expression, if what they've told me, how they've analyzed what we've gone through and what they see and what I feel and the real things we've gone through, then I'm sure you'll feel this expression. You'll feel this expression. So I wanted to start with these questions. It's the disloyalty amongst love. How do we overcome? Okay, so the first thing I really wanted to ask was, do you know what's classified as disloyal? And you know what I'm saying? Because what is disloyal? Well, first of all, let me run that back. In order to be disloyal, the word disloyal it does not exist without the root of loyal. Okay? Give me the definition of what you all feel is loyal, being loyal or loyalty. And you can go one at a time. I mean, y'all know, step it in and don't be shy, because this is us. This is our therapy. This is our world therapy. This is the world therapy that the Royal Melanated McCullers clan has to offer. Let's purge this shit in ourselves, so that as we share, people can really feel the connection and the love that we've had to really, really dig into. Because this is not a game. It's not a game. Come on, let's go, y'all. Come on, let's go.
So
Okay, y'all can hear me well, right? Oh, okay. I'll let you go.
Yeah, y'all should just have an order. Y'all do it from the oldest down because Hamad is probably one of the ones that these are questions first, and then we're going to kind of go. But it'll be easier that way. Then y'all can kind of let Amina go first, and then y'all know how to run that, and it just makes it a little easier to kind of answer the questions quick. Because when we get into the dialogue, then I know once we ask each one of you questions, y'all gotta have your own. You have your own perception of this. That's why I feel like it's so necessary to share in this way.
It is.
Okay, so Amina, if you
To
don't
me,
mind,
I
you're
think
welcome to go.
the concept of loyalty. Okay, can you hear me? Can y'all
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
me?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, good. Okay, wonderful. So to me, loyalty is when you're willing to love somebody unconditionally, regardless of what they're going through. When they're at their highest, even when they're at the low, even when they're at their lowest, you're willing to understand them as best as you can and be able to assist them through it, even if you have to tell them something necessarily want to hear. But just the fact that you're willing to be able to share with them and tell them the truth and assist them getting back to their highest version of themselves, and not just allowing them to sit at the lowest part, knowing that if there's something you can do to assist them, then you're willing to do it. That to me is what loyalty is.
Good analogy. Lamar, or would you like to go?
Okay, so I would say that my definition of loyalty would be like, okay, say like a family, us for example. If there's certain things that we know that you approve of and don't approve of, it's like regardless of how we feel, it's like we have to go by what was set in place first. Like whatever you set in place, the loyalty will be to follow that. Will be to like. I know you said starting out, it was hard for us to come to you, and it really was, through certain things. But you know, I think that loyalty really does lie within, following what script has been put in place, because if it had been put in place, more likely it's because of a foundation before the fact. And if there's a foundation before the fact, and that's where you got it from, staying loyal to that, I think that's what loyalty would be. Like if you set a path, you know why you set that path. It's like you had to experience a lot in order for us to even get to the point to even have to show loyalty to what you even put down on the table in the first place. Not anything else, not like having these extra feelings of thinking that one thing was more important than the other, or anything like that. Just being really true to what the word was from the start, and just keeping the trust that was there from the start, pretty much.
Thank you. Thank you for your analogy. Amir, you may go.
Yes, sir. So for me, loyalty is the knowing that you and this person really do have a connect. That you and the people that that you're loyal to, that y'all have a true connection to one another. Through the hardest times, you're able to assist one another in the best way you possibly can, even if it doesn't look, even if both parties don't agree with what one another is saying. It's still like you can't. You both come to a realization after the fact that uh is basically everybody has their own struggles. Basically everybody has their own things they have to go through, and you see, you got to be able to trust what you got to be able to trust where a person is coming from and what their understanding is of something, because basically you guys have way more years of experience on a lot of things than we do. Y'all seen things that we have not seen during the duration of our lifetime, and you, Daddy, have lived double of my lifetime so far. And you've seen, and what I learned from you, which I'm grateful for, is to basically to grow up to be a proper version, basically a proper version of who I came here to be, without the extra attached. Because like you said, there are things that have to be said. One thing about loyalty to me is the fact of having to understand what is needing to be done, because uh there are things that are said to us that we don't want to hear, and people take it as far as to have an attitude about it, or to hang on to it, or to have an issue about it. And you see, you can't really trust if somebody is truly loyal if they can't even if they're not even willing to at least hear your perspective of something that can't be taken of something that needs to be taken care of in their life. Because one thing for sure, anytime I had an attitude about something, y'all had to tell me. One thing for sure, it always came back and bit me when I went against when I went against what y'all were saying. Because y'all know me because y'all know y'all more so y'all know y'all and y'all knew how y'all grew up through a lot of situations. And one thing for sure, I'm grateful because my loyalty kind of I remember during our duration of time in Alabama, I remember all that nonsense that was taking place, and it was like a loyalty test kind of throughout that time. But loyalty comes from understanding you understood that I was coming that I didn't that even though I could have went a better way about the way I did what I did, you understood that I was coming from a place of hurt. Basically, you basically understood that it wasn't really directed at you as much as it was inward towards me. And loyalty, what I feel like you understanding that for me and assisting me to give myself a better self image about myself and how I should handle these situations really did really did build up my love and respect for you, especially because even through that, like I said, that's why I never ran. That's why running was never an option because even through that, I knew that I still deep down, of course, my care for y'all is always never, it will never false, it will never die, and none of that. Death for that does not exist. That's non-existent, and I'm grateful because one thing for you, I know a loyal person. I know a loyal person when I see one now because I'm great because I've grown up around y'all, and even through the hardest times, like I said, people could say that y'all been one way, people could say y'all been another, but one thing for sure, I know the way y'all been, and I've seen the times that y'all may not have thought we've seen. I'll be up in the middle of the night hearing y'all talk about particular when I was a little kid, hearing y'all talk about particular things that have to be done, things y'all have to do that y'all didn't really want to have to do, but it was like it needed to be done type thing. Y'all were having to put a lot down to do a lot, and y'all are dealing with a lot at the same time. And what I want to do is just basically be happy for y'all, like be that little energy booster that y'all needed to make things better. Hang on, let me fix this. And and one thing for me, one thing I can say is loyalty. That loyalty for me, for y'all, will never die because I know that for us, y'all would do anything for y'all, and I would this physical existence, I would literally shed every drop of this to make sure that y'all stay protected. There's no doubt about it, because I know that this is an experience that I'm grateful for, and I know that even through the toughest times, I know that we all got this because there's no reason we go through so many things together and we're still here together. I know loyalty is with I feel like loyalty is attached with us. Whether people got to realize that there are things that they got to accept, whether they want to or not. And I feel like this is the perfect time to come to the realization that not everything's going to be the way you want it to be. You got to come to some terms. That's what I had to grow up and realize, because I remember not getting what I wanted in instances where I thought it was going to be the case, or consistently having to get talked to because I was consistently doing this or that or that or this. And I can't blame anybody for what I did. It was a trial and error period. I can't even blame myself for that. It was just an experience of growing and learning that I have to do, and I'm grateful for every drop of it. And one thing for sure from both of y'all, even though, like I said, we have been through it. One thing for sure, I know y'all got my back. I know the loyalty for y'all, for me, is there, and it'll always be there from me to you. That's for sure.
Indeed, you show that. You show that in every moment we grow together, man. And I'm learning from you as I am learning from Source, and I know that we are. I know that you are Source as well. So I am learning from Source so much as we go, and I'm grateful. Like I said, I don't think it's another person more full of gratitude on the planet than me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what the people that love and know me, that they know. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Kings KS3, would you like to share, please? I mean,
So loyalty, through my perspective, is something that's not even able to be expressed through words. It's more so a respect that you keep for yourself, the morality of the code of morality and ethics that you live by, that's been set within the foundation of where we all came from. Like I'm speaking about all of us in this family, in this household, the foundation that y'all have set. Because one thing I can say for sure, y'all are a living example of loyalty itself. Because these two on the very first screen, Source Energy, God King Malik Sr. and Goddess Queen Cassandra, one thing I can tell y'all for sure is I don't care what differences that y'all two choose to have at any moment in time, it has always been a self-respect kind of thing to always look out for each other, to be loyal to that respect of each other, to be loyal to the respect of yourselves, and knowing and understanding that the foundation that's being set in place, that this is what matters over feelings, over the small petty things, and the togetherness is something that matters over everything. Because if y'all don't if you are not the ones that are being that example, then how are y'all going to be able to express that to us? So it's an action thing. It's like love, because a lot of people say love is an action word. A lot of people throw that around loosely, but I still do enter under and understand that, because that's what we were bought through. That's how we were bought into this world, through love itself. So that loyalty is a respect to yourself, to know and understand, and understand, just like Amir was saying. Everybody has their own form of struggles. Just as important as yours are to you is just as important as the next person is to them. So when you have the kind of respect within yourself that's loyal to that part of yourself, in which you know you came, that source part that you know you are, the more you're going to look out for people in a way where you know, and understand that they have their own struggles. So you're going to do the best you can to make things as easy and as simple as possible for other people, regardless of the circumstances. And it also goes with being like taking the time to listen intentionally, takes the time to be patient enough to enter, under, and understand, so you can have understanding and clarity on where all people come from, and providing what is needed based on those two things. So from my actions and just me putting this part forth has shown me the definition of loyalty, and that is something that I live. So when people say love is an action word, loyalty is also an action word as well. And if you're not actually living by that, then you cannot use that for yourself. Anybody, you are your own person. You do as you choose to. But if you're not utilizing that word and what you live by, then it's not something that counts, because it's an energy that goes with that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Very well accepted. Very well received. Um, indeed, man. Indeed. Okay.
You're always more than welcome.
Hamad, you can speak now if you choose.
Yes, sir. Yeah, explain loyalty is definitely if you make a commitment, especially when it's a commitment to help your entire family, even a commitment to just keep yourself in alignment with God, with life, just in general, because the circumstances or outcome or even the consequences of karma of basically life. And when you do not keep yourself in alignment and go through certain things to learn different things, but even aside from that, to give others a clearer understanding and for you all to be able to come to an agreement, and that's I feel like that's loyalty, because disloyalty would be to not doing things for your family, to not stick to your words, to not uh to not handle business when business needs to be handled, or to not stand your not stand your position, or to not stand your position or ground when certain situations are at play. So I feel like that's my description of loyalty, just based on different experiences, and know that loyalty is staying committed 24/7, aside from that, really living by what really live by what you say, and that's knowing what you have to do in this world. That's handling your business.
Indeed. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem at all.
Young King, the fifth. Camille, you would like to say something, please?
Yes, sir.
The mic is yours. Go ahead, Camille. You good? Just your
Can
definition
you
of
actually look at the
loyalty,
chat? Can you actually look at the private chat? Uh,
huh?
can all of you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're a little low.
Oh,
You
I
turn
just
up
can't
your.
hear myself.
Oh, you can't. We can you turn your
No, sir.
volume up a little. Let me see. Make sure you. Yeah, you're not on mute on this side. Okay, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. Huh? Honestly, it's better for me not to hear myself while I'm explaining, so I don't have to echo my own voice.
Okay, I can. We can hear you.
Yes, sir. Well, in my opinion, the definition of loyalty is always having someone back, like the people that show you respect 24/7, 365 throughout any and everything. Like if someone's going through something, if someone's going through like anything, for example, and they come to you about it and ask you a specific question on how to fix it, not saying you should necessarily automatically know the answer, but do everything in your power to answer their question and make sure that they're A1 or that they can feel better at any point in time.
You said it. Indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Everyone has their perception of loyalty, and it's good to say that all of that is supportive of someone else in your definitions. Everybody had a definition of loyalty being something that supports. So I'm gonna give the actual definition of what loyalty is based upon consensus. And first of all, I'm gonna give my consensus of loyalty. Loyalty is willing to be if you're loyal. Okay, being loyal and loyalty is two different things. If you're loyal to a human being, that means you'll do for the next person or who you're loyal to what you probably won't do for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's a very thin line. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll think that you wouldn't, but because of being loyal to them, you'll find that when you get put in a situation, you'll do it. You know what I'm saying? But you like so that's one of the things you kind of know inside of yourself who you'll be loyal to, even when you feel like they not loyal to you. And loyalty is one of those things that has to be, it's a heartfelt thing. It's a one-sided thing. Don't expect because you're loyal that someone's going to be loyal to you. It should be that way. But in the consensus of the universal law and the freedom that we have to think and be, it does not have, that is not like you can't force that to be a rule. You know what I'm saying? You can only attract whatever rule fits to you and the whoever that is you decide to, build that relationship with. But in the consensus of that, for me, it's experiences. It's things that somebody that's loyal to you automatically, you really don't have to ask them for anything. If you're going through something, it's like they'll know, they'll speak to you. They may not speak to you for a while and call you because they know something going on, because they know just about that loyalty that is kicked in. And to me, loyalty becomes a kind of like a connection via DNA, via the brainstorms and the telepathy that we have as far as the spirit connection. Because once you get loyal to somebody and they're loyal to you, it's like you can hear each other's thoughts. You could think, to each other. You're in a conversation. You can say each other's words. You know what I'm saying? All of that type of stuff in the same conversation. So loyalty is a very, very strict commandment from the inside to me. And I feel, from my perspective, the only way you can be loyal to anyone is how to be loyal to yourself. Meaning, when you're not supposed to be doing shit that's bad for you, you don't do it. You know what I'm saying? When you know it's something challenging that will cause you to cause someone else some kind of conflict, then you don't do it. You avoid those things. And that proves your loyalty to yourself first. And it's easier to be loyal to others once you are in balance to that. It's much easier because I learned this shit a long time ago. And in actuality, because I'm an empath, I've been a little, what some people would say is too loyal, but it's not never too loyal when you learn the experiences that come behind it. And then it is what it is. Okay, so loyalty is, it's could be defined as a strong alliance or just a strong sentiment of trust for someone, or just some or something. You know what I'm saying? the quality of staying firm in your relationship, friendship, and the support of someone or something. The sentiment of feeling the devotion that one, has for things that should mean most, like family, friends, the things you should be loyal to, animals, creed, your country, your belief system, your knowing, the way you carry yourself. You should be loyal to those things as an example of loyalty. That's what the definitions are, but I appreciate that. So the next question would be, do you feel people enter? No, let me start it over. Do you feel that people over, let me start that over, under, over, and understand what love is? And do you? Okay. Because I'm going to ask your opinion of it. So you can ask that question, you can answer that question all at once. Do you feel that people understand, and understand what love is based upon your perception, and based upon your perception, what is love to you? You know what I'm saying? You define love. And it's a third part to that question, but you may begin. I mean, is she still here? I know she got kicked off one time when I put her back, but
Yeah, she's not here at the
there she
moment.
is.
I'll go ahead and answer her
No,
though if
no,
you like.
let Lamar go. Because we just keep it in the order. It's all good.
Yes, sir. Very much
I mean, unless y'all
understandable.
got the vibe. It's all good. Like I say, it's not scripted, so run it. It don't matter. If he wasn't quite ready, if you ready, it don't even matter. I was just suggesting in the first place. So we good either way.
I got you. So first of all, just like what I was saying with the whole description of loyalty and everything, love is an action word, and um, I feel like if love is something that's conditional, it's not love in the first place. Because love is something that's yet again automatically an action word, and if it's real, then it's unconditional. You're not going to put any conditions on it, regardless of how you feel about anything, regardless of your differences and views and opinions and what you would do different than anything. You're not placing any judgment upon anybody else that you consider yourself to love. Yet, it's still a tough love thing that you have for them because you're making sure that you're being the best example that you can for them. You're not going to sit there and be soft with the information that you give, especially if you know that it's something that needs to be heard, and it's a message that will genuinely assist them based on the things that you're paying attention to about them. And that's another thing, intentionally paying attention to people, focusing on the things that they need, being able to provide those things without asking, from paying attention to those things. And yet again, some people enter under and overstand it because they live it, but it's not everybody that does that. Not the way I see it. It's not.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Amina, you can answer that question. The question was, do you feel people under, over, and understand what love is? And based upon that, what is your perception or definition of love?
Um, I honestly think that people over and understand love based upon what their circumstances were like growing up. Like if they were exposed to love like on a regular basis and they received it and they were taught how to give it, then somebody like that would understand more so what love is, as opposed to somebody else who's grown up in an environment where nobody really cared for them, nobody really loved them, nobody really taught them how to do much of anything. They were just mad. They just seemed like they were kind of mad about everything. And then as a result of being around that, not really being exposed to any form of real love, and instead just being exposed to the complete opposite, that's their learned behavior as
So it's a thin
result.
line.
And then for those is harder for somebody else because nobody else ever provided it to them. Um, as a result of me receiving love from everybody in this room, especially from you, mommy and daddy, of course, and I greatly appreciate that. I
Thank you. It ain't
think
never stop. It's not gonna
that
slow
love,
down.
I, you said, I think that to me, love is you're able to accept somebody and you're willing to assist them in any way you possibly can. Like you have no strings attached when you want somebody to do something for you, or when they're willing to do something for you. And every action that you perform for them, and basically every action that's being passed back and forth is actually genuine, and it doesn't really have like any strings attached. It doesn't come with a catch or anything. You're being genuine about everything, and then the action of that is what shows first. Like when you're being genuine in your action instead of just your words, because your words can only say but so much. But like when you act on it, when you care for somebody endlessly, eternally, unconditionally, and you don't have a problem, like no matter what they have to say to you sometimes, because sometimes when you're told something you don't want to hear, and that's not everybody, but somebody, sometimes when you're told something that you don't want to hear, you can feel some kind of way about it. Some people will feel some kind of way about it, but when you actually love somebody, even if you feel some kind of way about that thing, you're actually willing to stop and think about why they're saying it, where they're coming from when they say it, and then how am I going to apply that to my life, to my current situation, in order to be able to get past it, be able to get to a better place. Me, because of the fact that you've been able to show that to me for so long, and I appreciate it. That to me is
Well,
what
thank
love
you.
is.
Thank you for recognizing what my command, my allowance and alignment to source and my desire, will, and intent is, because like I said, it will not stop via none of the galaxies that we are, traveling through. So it's just constantly getting stronger because of the awareness that we're, rising in each one that we go through. So thank you for trusting me to this part. Thank you for even believing in what I have
Up
even
to
been.
this part and always.
Thank you so much. Okay, so Amir, you can
You're
answer the
very
same
welcome.
question if you will, please.
Yes, sir. What I feel like love to me is being willing to tell somebody things that they don't want to hear as well. Being willing to give people the things that they don't want to, the hard truth. Basically giving people basically knowing how somebody is struggling, and you got the way to assist them, but it's not a way that they really want to hear or agree with. But you're willing to give it to them anyway because you know good and well what it could lead to if you didn't. Well, I feel like even through the hardest times when we were told particular things we didn't take the heat, we end up having to face the consequences for later on. So one thing for sure, I'm very grateful for the fact that I've had you guys to assist me and giving me the guidance that I have, because I have to admit, there are a great few things that y'all told me that I didn't want to hear, as y'all have seen through my actions during those time periods. But one thing for sure, I'm grateful for it because it assisted me to get up to this point, and I wouldn't have gotten here. I wouldn't have gotten here without 99, no, 100% of it, to be totally honest with you. Because later on, I ended up having to go back and realize that what it is what it is, and I got to accept what it is because people more. In some instances, people have more years of experience than you in the situation at hand, so you never end up truly knowing what it is. You never end up truly knowing what it is anyway if they're trying to assist you with. If you automatically think you just know, how in the world are you supposed to get the how in the world are you supposed to get the knowledge from what it is that they're trying to share with you? Instead of having an attitude and not accepting what it is. I feel like true love also comes from being able to accept the things that don't want to be heard as well. Like, be open to a different perception of something. It may sound like resistance to you, but why would for what reason would it be in your time and your life for this to be being told to you at this time period? Like, what's the reason? What, like, if you've got a if you've got something that you want, and there's a way you got to do it that you don't want to hear, and the other person knows, and they're trying to share it with you, but you don't want to hear it. I don't think you can't really come from a love perspective not caring about what it is that they want to hear. If you want to if you want to basically uh understand what, okay, well, I'll be finished in just a second, man. But like I was saying, the truth, what I feel like love is being able to not only accept what needs to be heard and telling people what needs to be heard that they don't want to hear, and being great, and along with that, being grateful for one another, unconditionally, being able to accept people for their flaws and their great side as well. Being able to weigh them out and being able to assist people with growing through this, and being able to grow through this nonsense, because everybody has it to grow through.
Okay, well, yeah, that was
Indeed, we do.
Okay, so I think my definition of love would be like being able to assist and accept anybody that's around you and the ones that you call yourself attempting to assist on any level that you're being provided. Like, for example, it would be based upon how first is would be really based upon how you see life because it somebody's trying to tell you something to assist you and just like in some scenarios I would be like I feel like maybe I didn't have to be told that, or maybe I feel like you wouldn't understand, or something like that. It's not about necessarily having somebody else understand you. It's about you and me understanding what perspective they're coming from because if they heard like what was going on or saw what was going on, was able to observe, then they're offering assistance from where they are. So love would be not only them offering the assistance, but you accepting it as such instead of like, seeing it as opposition or seeing it as like somebody not understanding you because it's not always about somebody else trying to understand you, especially if I'm the one who needs assistance, it's not me. I'm not supposed to be the one trying to hop to the front of the line like I know. I'm the one who came for the assistance. So the thing is, the love would be is to also receive it because it's out of love that you would even offer any assistance because it could be you don't have to, and you're not required to, but you do. And anybody else that cares, they do. They offer from a perspective. So when being given that perspective, it would be like to accept what's being given and what's being given, especially if it's coming from an individual that actually knows what they're talking about. Just receive it as such. Don't put feelings right there in the way because later on you're not gonna feel like that. More likely, you're probably gonna at one point gonna wish that you listened to that thing that you were being told earlier on, so it wouldn't have grown into another situation or into something what they call a bigger situation. But it would just be love would be to accept what's being told, and when you're seeking information, accept it, and when who's giving it to you, listen.
Indeed. Thank you.
You always want to listen.
Thank you. Well, whoever can go next, all of it love.
my definition of real or true love is showing that through action, showing that through how you treat people, how you represent or treat yourself. Basically, is show yourself real love, and then you can show others real love. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, you're constantly not clean. You're constantly having to go through different things with yourself or with other people as a result of things you're going through within yourself. Then you're not going to ever be a person of true love because you don't have true love for yourself. That means you're not going to to others by having true love for yourself and knowing who you are. And then when you do that, when you accept who you are and you can accept everything that comes with that, you only show true love because you only have true or real people around you. You won't have anybody around you that's not on that level, that's on a lower level than that.
Indeed. Indeed. Thank you. Um, Camille?
My definition of my definition of love is showing unconditional affection for someone that has respected you since that has given you genuine respect since the day you met them. And uh,
volume was off. I read that whole thing with the volume off. Okay, look. So the question is, I was saying the question is, from your perspective, what is it that people need to, or no, what is the proof that you need, or what act does someone have to do for you to know that they love you? Hello?
To me, it shows in their smile.
It shows
Like
in a smile?
not just a smile. That's like one of the things. Um, when
Yeah, I
it
was like,
shows
well,
in
you I,
when
I
it
feel you.
shows in when it shows in action, like when you're willing to do certain things for somebody, and somebody can feel when it's genuine versus when it's not. And when you feel that it's genuine, like the action itself, that the person is coming from a genuine state of love and being able to care and appreciate you, then that to me is what you have to do in order to show love. Like that puppy, for example. Like she can, like she,
Put
like
some
she
love
can,
on it.
yeah, like her actions. Like she can jump up on you and lick you and stuff, and you can rub her and everything, and you just automatically know by the way she looks at you and how she responds to you that she really does love you. And response is another thing. Like the way that somebody responds to you on a regular basis when you have to tell them something that they like to hear versus something that they don't like to hear. Like even if somebody seems like they have an issue at first and then they come back because they realize the fact that I did have to be told that for that reason. And this person did tell me for this specific reason because they understand the fact that I'm usually in a better place than this and that I can be in a better place than I previously was. And so they're willing to share that with me and see to it that I continue to grow in the best way that I possibly can. And that's the part I appreciate because you guys have done that like from the very beginning. Even at parts in which somebody would think that it wasn't necessarily like that. But see, the thing is, my understanding is that people go through their own things. And even if they explain some parts of it to you, there are still some parts of it, like especially from parent to child, that they're not going to want them to know because they don't want them to be concerned about anything. So they keep the like lighter parts like to the front, and the parts that aren't necessarily so favorable, like keep them like not necessarily keep them inside, but keep them away from the innocent mind so that an innocent person doesn't start being concerned about it. And when somebody cares enough for you to make sure that you're not concerned about them or about anybody else that may be going on, even if we pick up on it, the fact that we can pick up on that and be able to assist y'all by giving the love that we can give and taking the actions that we can take, even if we feel like it's not that much. Which I'm pretty sure to y'all is a whole lot more, especially in terms of how it feels in a specific moment, because you never know what somebody may need at that specific time. And me just being willing to give that to you guys at any point in time, and anything that y'all need, me being able to do it for you, and me being able to unconditionally and endlessly show that I appreciate absolutely everything that y'all have done for me and everything that y'all continue to do. And every last bit of that, I'm going to return that like tenfold plus. Like there's not, I could say that in words, that part, but the full extent, I can't really explain it. But
Well, I got the
regardless, I
vibe.
appreciate
I got the vibe. You don't even have to say much. All you got to do is keep being you because I co-created the energy that is within you. So I feel it all the time. It's never off of me. As a matter of fact, my imaginary friend. You're definitely one of the
it.
ones that showed up early. I know that to be the case. So I'm just so grateful for the experience as well. You know what I'm saying? Because and these are just definitions because we need to still get into the other part. I know it's going to be 2 parts, 3 parts, 4 parts, but it's still some very important parts to get to this. So if anybody else would please answer that question right quick. Who didn't? Did everybody? No, everybody didn't. Huh?
I'll go next.
Okay.
Y'all can hear me,
Yep.
right?
Clear. Clear.
Okay. So, what
You need
does
the answer.
somebody
Okay.
what does somebody have to do to show you that they love you? I would say for me, it's taking the time to actually like they listen intentionally to what I say. They're patient enough to enter and understand my perspective, where I'm coming from, and the sides of it from how I'm seeing it and how the other side is seeing it, And third thing is doing the things that's needed to show that they have clarity so they can assist me with having clarity myself.
Get it? Okay. All is well. Next, anybody want to say what does someone have to do to prove to you that what mechanism of action or proof does someone have to do to make you know that they love you?
To me,
Just
Your actions, but what actions in a lie.
no, I know I have to
just
be more specific, but for me, it's definitely someone's actions. It's certain things if you really love someone, you just would not do. Same thing. Let me be specific with that, especially something to hurt them or go against them or something that would, betray them in any way, anything that would make them feel any way other than
Too sorry.
good or loving, you know.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Anybody else before me?
you have like the true representation of living up to true love, or what people will represent as or show as actually representing that. It's just doing living up to what they speak, living up to what they represent themselves as. If they see themselves as this, that, they see themselves as something specific, where they live their life, where they basically they base their life on certain things, and they must live up to that. And especially when it comes to other people, I think that because a lot of people, when you when you're true to yourself, and that's what true love is. That's what true love is, because whenever you show anybody love, or if you show anybody genuine care or anything, it always comes back to you in many different ways as a result of you just living up to who you are, or what you represent, or what you base your life on.
Okay, well, how does somebody show you that they love you? How do you know when somebody shows? I know that character and showing true love is those character traits, but how does somebody show you just being that way with you? Is that kind of like you breaking it down?
just based on just based on living up to that, just living up to what they speak, because you can tell the difference if somebody's just speaking and they're not they're not living up to it. They won't show any action for what they want.
Right.
So
Exactly. I got you. Exactly. Camille, Amir, you're welcome. Camille, whichever one you guys want to go. Hey.
The way that I feel like somebody's showing true love to me is by basically accepting me throughout. Even though I may have my points in time in which I may fall short at times, being willing to accept me, even still, like, because like I said, everybody has their own struggles. Nobody knows exactly how hard it is for somebody to deal with something in comparison to somebody else. Somebody else may have the steps easier than somebody else, and somebody may not know at all, or not even know where the staircase is to get up to that point. And the point of the matter is basically stating, like, for me, I know that y'all love me because y'all are willing to, even though there's some things that I enjoy that y'all don't, y'all willing to accept what I love. There are things that there are things that basically, even though I've had to face particular things, and even though we've had to go through them, I know y'all love me based upon the fact that y'all are willing to accept that I'm not like everybody else, and vice versa. And I love y'all based upon knowing that y'all not like everybody else. So I can't deal with y'all. I can't deal with y'all like y'all are everybody. Everybody's one and the same, and I appreciate that. For sure, true love comes from knowing people individually for their strengths and their weaknesses, and knowing how to assist them, dealing with them in each way, like assisting you building up your strengths and your weaknesses. Like basically, cover for where you see them fall. Basically, giving them assistance in ways like information or things that they may not even want to hear. Basically, like a way of showing true love to somebody is knowing that they always have your back, based upon, I know that y'all have my back based upon the things that y'all share with me, based upon the thing that we've grown through, based upon y'all's action of showing what we've had to go through to get up to this point. One thing for sure, I know y'all truly love me, and I truly love y'all too. And I will that any action that I do I will that any action that I make, anything that I do to assist us to be able to get further, I will that it does its best to do so. And even though I may not be my best always, I can't always be my best person. I will that I can do the best to show that I'm going to do my best no matter what, to do better every day, to become a better version of myself so that we can all have a better life together, and then we can all grow and as one, and then we can all grow together, basically.
And so it is. And so it is. Ashe. I really I received that, man, and I'm very grateful for you recognizing my overall source commanded uh, ideology deal, just the whole energy field of me allowing this part to come to its truth, because as we go we learn. You know what I'm saying? You put yourself out here into the ether, and the ether is prepared to give you something to learn from. So I'm grateful for that, and I want to get all into that with Camille. I wanted you to give your opportunity to say, like, what does someone have to do for you to know that they love you? Like, what, like, how do you know? You know, we all know, if not. So, how do you gauge that?
The way I feel is if someone should prove to you that they love you is by actually being honest with you and speaking their true feelings about how they feel about in particular things you have to say to them at any point in time, or just any place in general. Because uh,
She can. Indeed. Indeed. The last part of what you said. Yeah, y'all know we got the Wild Kingdom up in here, so y'all be a little, yeah, but all is well. Okay, so no, I appreciate that, man. See, love is what love does in the action of just source energy, because I know that someone loves me by the vibration I feel when they're around me. Like, it's like really, and it's like you don't have to take a long time, because some people you meet early on and you automatically have a certain kind of love for them. There ain't no lust love or nothing like that. It's just a certain vibrational connection that, some people come in some, and as above, so below. It's some that's the same way on the opposite side. You can't tell for the life or for no reason why, you would feel some kind of way about somebody, especially if you don't know. But it reveals itself, especially if you decide to deal with them past your feelings. So, and the other question was, can you love someone that you know, or at least you feel in your heart that they don't love you? And if so, why? And how can you do that?
Um,
Come on.
so,
Come on. Yeah.
all right, all right.
Yeah.
So,
So interesting.
in a way, yeah, but like to an extent, like you can love somebody like just as an individual, like not necessarily as somebody close to you, but being willing to care enough that they're an individual too. Like, and even if they don't love you, just the fact that you're willing to still stay respectful and stand by what you live by is something that's more so preferred in general. Somebody could give you a million reasons to not love them. I know there are a few that have done that for me too. Somebody that you thought you could trust ended up betraying them all the way, or you found out that that love was never there to begin with. Like, I wouldn't, okay, so a stranger, I wouldn't share the same love with them that I would for you guys, because I've been
Indeed.
around you guys. I haven't been around them, but I can like respect them as an individual enough to be like hi or bye or even distance myself.
In creation, right? Respect as creation. It's easier to do that when you know that you're the mirror. That's what I've been able to do. I'm the mirror, so I can accept certain things and even not. And then when I'm dealing with this last situation that we've dealt with, the one that's been the most impactful, that really got us here, is if y'all look at the screen, Malik Hamad McCullers looks like a young clone of myself, and I see him every day, all day, in my spirit, in my life, in my whole thing. Like, ever since he's been born into my life. And recently, and I'll be glad to give the basics, and then because he was involved, he can express his part, because I feel it necessary, because we have come to such a clear understanding of who we are as source together collectively. And hey, this is that love thing right here. Okay, so you know buckle up, because this is an hour of just explaining from our perspective of what love is. This is the time to feel the reasons. What we say is what we've been using, and you see that we're here together, and this could be something different. This could have totally been something different. And I'm full of gratitude, because 2 months, 3 months ago, and it's from a buildup of things, because Hamad is an overachiever. He graduated when he was 13, and most of them graduated 14 or 15, but he graduated 13, and he's just always been an overachiever. Everyone knows that, all of them are advanced in all ways in that way. And I'm not saying that because they mine. I've had to watch them and realize, damn, I don't have to show them certain things. I can sit back and get taught some things. So I've been able to be very fortunate in my way of realizing that and coming to terms with it. You know what I'm saying? But I've known he's been a champion since day one. Before he ever saw football, I had a football in my room. It was one that I think it was a Nerf or something, but he grabbed that mug and ran through the whole house until he got to the couch, and he ran into the couch real hard, and he threw it down and started jumping around like he had did something. And my father is a football player. He was a football player for a lot of his life, that that we know like that. But it was like, really, it's natural. I play sports and it's just natural. But based upon that, I just saw how he has a champion spirit, and then every other thing, he'd watch his elder siblings, and he'd sit back and be just watching them and see what they do. He'll learn how they do it here. Next thing you know, he'll be swooped up on them, and learn how to do that thing, and did it before them. And it's not like everybody's looking like, hey, little bro, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's building up a bit of an ego for my man, because he is a fire sign. He's on fire. He's got some numbers that prove that he's here for a major thing in this whole thing, along with this royal melanated, clan. We know this now because of the things that we've endured. Now, this is just from here to now, because if we go back a year and a half, you're going to really, and we will, because this has to be a series. This has to be a series. But all in all, throughout some time, we've had to go through some changes. But about 3.5 months ago, after 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, Hamad growing up in Hamad, I don't want to express, your personal business like that, but you and I know what it is. I'll let you do any parts of that. But he's dealt with some things in his young mind that you would have to be on some man shit to come through, at his age. And even after that, he's dealt with some things. And now this is the part I'm gonna take off at. After about 3 months ago, he vanished. We didn't know where he was. We had a difference of agreement about a few things early in the AM, and I guess whatever had happened, it impressed him to the limit that he thought that he was not desired or loved around here. Whatever the situation was, he left. And I'm talking, when I say left, he left, and we did not know anything. Like, we didn't know where he was. We didn't know he didn't. I mean, it was no sign of like he made a Houdini on our asses. Like, you know what I mean? Because everybody loves somebody. We know that we all got some stuff to deal with. We know some of us are a little more aggressive than the others. You know what I'm saying? But for real, this love thing here is solid, because he left, and it was the night before the full moon in September, or whatever it was, and it was the night before, and I had already had my rituals written out for the full moon the next day. So when this happened, of course, I had to add some things, and I was bittersweet. I was angry at first, and I realized, damn, my son, I know I raised him really with the right morals and values and everything, but the field is different when you haven't been in the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can talk it, but you got to get out there in the field, and you got to walk it out. And so, all in all, he had left, and we didn't hear nothing. We had to report him missing, and for 2 months, literally, we didn't know anything. And one day, an angel, called my goddess and said that we found him and that he was okay. And that was heartbreaking for me, because I wanted to hear from him, but I didn't want to hear that something was wrong with him, but I didn't want to hear that he was okay and didn't call, like, didn't reach out to his mother, at least, because for me, I'm a man. I understand what we grow up, and as men, we get different. Things happen, and it is what it is. So I accepted that. I accept that for what it is, and I keep it moving. But that night of the full moon ritual, I mean, I did all kind of rituals, and I'm talking about I've had emotions out of this world, and I've really done a lot of shadow work to flip that emotion thing upside down. But I'm gonna tell you, when you're a father, if you're a father, you can go into my heart, you can feel my heart on this. I don't give a damn how tough you are. If you don't know where one of your children is, and you can't physically see them or mentally hear them or like talk to them, you know that ain't no good. Right? That's not a good vibe. Can you stop me? That's not a good vibe. You know what I'm saying? So, in that instance, we have just really come to terms with. But when they called to ask him to call home, you know what I'm saying, and 2 days went by, and we had an appointment in the area. So my goddess was feeling really, really deep in her heart about it. She was like, "Can we please just ride by where he said?" For myself, I need to see 111 on the time. But yeah, I need to see. And I say, okay, no problem. And we rode through. It's like an angel rode through on a bike and pulled up and was like, "Hey, you guys looking for somebody?" And we said, "Yes, we were looking for it." And then we showed a picture of him. And this guy literally jumped off of his bike. He said, "Hey, hold on. I know him. I met him. I talked to him. Let me look. Hold on." I watched him. He took about 5 minutes, a good 3 to 5 minutes, literally asking all along. He was running between them. He wasn't like walking, taking his time. It was literally him assisting us. He was attempting to assist us because he knew that we were looking for him. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't find him, but he said that, "Man, I promise you, if I see him, I'll give him your number. I'll make sure he calls." Okay, so the next day, or was it the next day? It's 2 days ago after whatever. But anyway, some kind of way he calls, and the guy saw him, but he didn't have the number, but Hamad remembered the number by heart, so he went ahead and called and talked to his mother first. Okay, so when he spoke to his mom, I guess he expressed all the feelings he needed to express, to get us to hear. And I'm gonna let him take over from there, and I'm gonna let his mom get involved. Yeah, well, his cameras. Yeah, I see his things off of this. Come on back on, Hamad. But I'm gonna let you come in, Goddess, so you can go ahead and start speaking about your part, because your part was when you took over. You started communicating with him, and you explaining what was said and how things and how it transferred from there will really lead up to how it got to here. You know what I'm saying? So even until he gets back on the screen, because it might be the battery on the thing's low, and if it is, he can come right in here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was low.
Yeah. So come on, let's go.
Okay.
Just explain. Fill your part, because this is the goddess. This is his mother, and if anybody will be affected by this, especially over time, and that's what. Oh my goodness! Just go ahead. It's a process.
Yeah. So, of course, the day he called, um, after not knowing if he was, dead or alive for almost 2 months, the first thing, nothing had changed in the sense of I was still just as happy to hear from him as I was as if I had been communicating with him all along, just to get to hear the confirmation from his voice, from him personally, knowing that he is okay in the sense of being alive, but not definitely the definition of what I would classify as okay. But, it was a process that was on a Saturday. And by that Tuesday, after having several conversations, still not seeing him, but having several conversations with him that finally ended up leading to us going to pick him up from where he was that Tuesday night. And again, at this point, it had already been close to 2 months. So, but Hamad, I'm going to leave it for you to decide what about that experience you want or prefer to share.
Well, it's important for him to. We talk about
You know,
it.
I'll let you take over from here, and then I'll add to or fill in along the way if need be. But I'll let you take over for now.
Yes, ma'am. it's definitely an experience for all of us to come together and definitely learn from. And even aside from that, just experiencing different things, meeting different people, and just coming to an understanding of what I have to do now, what everybody has to do now, realizing what my true position is, realizing what my position is in life, and just realizing realizing the impact I've made in this world, and how I can use my impact or what I know to assist others, especially within my family, or just knowing that that life is a journey that we're always going to go through different things, but it's everything happens for a reason for us to be able to grow from it, to be able to continue and live right from it. I just feel like that situation was a learning experience. I'm grateful I'm doing well. I've always been doing well. I never was going through anything bad, anything. I always had the right people in my life to assist me, and then aside from that, for me to be able to learn different situations and be able to learn, what truth or what truth and reality really is, especially in the real world, because it's different than what most people describe or explain it to be. But I tell you one thing: when you know who you are and you know what your mission is, you know what you have to do, and that's all that matters. That's all you set on, and that's basically what I've learned. Is that there's no limitations, there's no limits to what we can do. Is that we have to really do it, and we have to put our all into it. And even aside from that, just complete the mission. Get done what we set out to get done for, because we know it's all for true purpose.
Indeed, indeed. I want to chime in because you said something that was resonating. You said that how we go through things, and life is a mission. We're here to do something. We all have our own experiences, but one thing I want to just add to is life is based upon our conversations, because we're going to keep it a buck all the way live. Based upon our conversations, life is exactly what I told you it was, that it would be if you got out there and got on the block like that, based upon just the experiences. And I would love for you to share some of the experiences, because this man is 18 years old. Even if he looks older, he's 18 years old with a very mature mind. So he went out there with that type of mature mind, but not the experience of it, because of the things that he did experience and got through. I feel that, well, I know for a fact it's necessary for that to be shared, because his impact is, most people don't come back from just the basic stuff that this young man has gone through. And if you'll, be open about it, believe me, I know it's I don't know if it's, I wouldn't consider it embarrassing, because you the dude, you the whole time told everybody how you was gonna do it, so you stood on that. So if anything, you about your word, you know what I'm saying. But at the same time, you just said you learned as a result different things. You have to make different choices, and I am grateful to you because you decided to make different choices, and as well as go through the process, because it's not like you know. Like I said early on in this live, that we have not given access. It's just that because of the peer group amongst them, half of the time they wouldn't bring it to me, because I'm on my growth. They see me improving myself, so they feel like, oh, daddy might not do, but I'm dark. You know what I'm saying? I came from the darkness. I'm grateful in the darkness. I'm grateful in the light. The only reason I got to where I could even overstand this in a way, this awakened space, is because I reign in the darkness. I get that. I've had to, and it's not a negative thing, because as above, so below. God is equal in both places. So call it what you want, define it how you choose, but according to the vibrational realm of what goes on, it's certain things that go with the alignment of the universe, and certain things that don't. And as a result of our experiences, that's why. See, the biggest part to me was this. Okay, I know my young kings and queens have hearts like lions, and literally, this man has a zodiac and all of his numbers. If you know anything about a natal chart, you will be captivated at how strong he is, strong willed, and things that he is. But because I've been with him in his life, I've got to realize that from 3 years old up, and how you're not just gonna tell him something. He gonna figure it out on his own. He might take some if he done, but for the most part, it's gonna be one of them things. No, I got to see this for myself, and that I respect, because I am all that I am with that, and have always been. But I ain't have no discipline like that. I didn't have no. I had people that would have told, but nobody would have been in my place to be what I have been to them, and that's where this thing has its perspective. So, do you mind if I say anything about anything, Hamad? Because I still will not. We are I told you we love ones and we know what we went through. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to say what is. But the way you explained it, the way you broke it down, I know that if anyone your age is dealing with any of this shit, they're gonna have to think about it. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't look as if you've had too many issues. You know what I'm saying? For real. But as a result of how you've had to come back and really get your mind right, tell me, because we were talking today, and I just today I know that you overcame some hurdles. You know what I'm saying? So if you will share, I would appreciate it, because on the level, just sort of some of the things that were said, you know what I'm saying? It would be very important if we could get that to the masses, because people your age, and then fathers, this thing is, it takes love. It takes love. It takes recognizing that what's loyal, if you're going to be loyal, or if you're going to allow your or someone else's disloyalty break your loyalty, because those two should be, kind of like separate. If you're going to be loyal until you realize that the person, you just cannot deal with them, and don't be loyal with them. Just don't not be disloyal. Don't be disloyal. Just cut them off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just go about your business in a whole different space with respect to yourself. But Hamad, like, if you would, express just some of the things that you actually went through, real talk, like what you said, because some of the things you said make all the sense in the world to me, and some of the things they can't make sense to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because based upon what I understand, and then it's not just about me, because I would love for any and everyone to get the opportunity to say, "Wow, I'm doing that. Wow, I see where that's. Man, you mean to tell me?" And then looking at you, nobody would believe you did what you did in the last 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Not looking at you because you left here healthy. You know what I'm saying? That's what, to me, it is a healthy mindset of you leaving here healthy, because we're gonna keep it a buck. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, you cannot do certain things and think you're going to get a good result of it. We can, if anybody come on this live, as this video is up and jumping later on, as it goes, we'll ask these questions. Like, we'll get to asking these questions. Is it really like, are you able to like do certain things and really violate the universal laws and just do some shit? You can't. That's not how this shit works. It don't work like that. You got to be according to the universe. And then these chemicals that are man tainted, believe me, they tainted for the frequency to be twisted, off, imbalanced, crushed. Everything that has to do with your demise of energy, your low vibrational, consistent state. Whatever it is, that's what it is. Everything. So in that, we know, just find something inside of yourself to do that makes it more efficient to even live in this avatar. Because being in this avatar is a thing. It was a thing before I had children. Believe me, it is a thing now that I got children, and I'm grateful for it. But I'm telling you, and all the parents, you chime out, y'all know what's up. Nobody that's got a child can. I mean, if you got anything that you've been through a little bit, let's go. Like, you already know. All I'm saying is respect. But we're here to share that. And Hamad, like I said, man, I don't want to put it on blast, but my part, I got to say my part. You know what I'm saying? I got to say my part from the perspective of how I had to deal with it and what I had to actually do, because this is some real shit, y'all. This is some real shit. Like, I'm talking about the part of the frequency changing before you left, and the music. And I'm not blaming, because we control our own things, but we spoke about all of this. You know what I'm saying? How allowing these frequencies to come in and not doing our proper shadow work, and not realizing that things are coming over us. They're hitting us so hard from different angles, but we're not seeing it because there's so many different angles. You can't pinpoint it to be one thing. It's just a whole bunch of different angles. But because we are here galactically in quantum fields, you have to feel it in all angles, because you have access to move it. You know what I'm saying? And we've we're doing it. We over here breaking spells, casting spells, putting everything into the ether that we know the Creator would, protect and grant us with. Negative shit, it becomes negative when someone intends to oppose a positive, because when I put it out there positively, it is as above, so below. I'm at the positive side of it. If you do anything other than that, you're at the opposite side of it. So it matters not to me either way. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the perspective of my knowing. And I know that source is here. I know that we are here for divine reasons. But Hamad, will you say what you told me, like the first, because I had to ask questions, because I'm from the field. I'm from the field real heavy, so I wanted to ask questions, and I asked my young king, so what was he doing out there? How was the first day he was like, I got $80. And I said, okay, so if you don't mind me asking, how did you do that? And then, just the basic how it came about, because see, these things come about really easy, but then they end up really hard. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like it just moved into it, and next thing you know, it's a way of life. Because I envisioned it that night after my rituals. I saw his face in the moon. I didn't get to that. I saw his face in the moon. I did everything I could. I took my glasses. I literally punched myself in the eye. I almost hurt my eye because I'm like, I can't. Hold on. I'd already been being emotional and shit. So I cleared all of that up, and I looked at the moon again, and I could not get his face. But you know what? His face had a big smile on it, and that dude's smile to me is like one of the most rewarding things in my life when I see him smiling. So I saw him smiling. I had to come to terms with right there. And Source touched me and told me that regardless of what I think, what I feel, he's happy and I got him. He all right. You know what I'm saying? So I had to come to terms with that. Now I got to support the goddess in the family because everybody's uproared. The older brothers, we like, wait a minute, this is some traitor shit. We ride. We also, the way we have built this community with us, we know it's ride or, hey, you know what it is. So we were a little feeling, betrayed and everything. But when you come to the sense, when we start looking at him, all of us were traumatically frantic about, oh my gosh, what happened to our little boy? What happened to little bro? Where my son at? And I got a Camaro. I'm not supposed to be driving that bitch 160 around corners, but I promise you, I bent every corner around this area, going at the highest rate of speed I could, because if he hear me and he know that we're looking for him, maybe he'll just come out and show himself. But he got too much of a jump on him. By the time I find out we was looking for him, he had been gone for 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? And he had left a note. I didn't get the note till 3 days later. And 3 days later, on the day it rained, is when I got the note. And the note was not even totally clear. But the only parts that were clear were things that he impressed that his feelings were about me. And so it impacted me more. But at the same time, I ain't gonna stop loving my seed. I'm not gonna stop. I didn't turn my back on him to begin with, and I know that based upon these choices that we have, these false validations that we have, all these things that we can do, just jump in and out, and we can just do with no cause, and then it's unfortunate because as a result of being social media based, it's like no feelings to the other side. It's like you can make somebody feel some kind of way, but you're not concerned about how they feel. You can do something and as long as you feel a certain way, that's it. But the objective is to know how you're putting things out so that you don't, have to in the end time, realize that pain that you put on people is yours to receive. So, but after that, when he told, we talked a lot. So just, if you don't mind, Hamad, just, break it down, man. Cause you got in the car on some tell it all. Like you had learned how to do shit that the average person is not going to brag about, but you tell these youngsters, man, get in their head, bro, because I don't know. I can't reach them. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't reach you. Like I did eventually after we came to a turn of me going to the ancestors, and I'm not going to accept, I'm not going to lie down. And when I told you that I put my life on the line for you and we got to ride together, is when I feel like I know that was a shake, that was a part. And then your mother giving a spiritual counsel from her soul, because, when you're gone, man, if you would have felt the cries that she had, bro, you would have came home immediately. And that's why I knew you had to be doing something. Something was altering our connection, because we always been telepathically connected. I could say, Hamad, come here. You just come knock on the door. You know what I'm saying? I could say, and that applies to all of y'all. It's always been like that until, the separation started taking place. And I saw it really do that after a minute. But hey, we are where we are because we've gone through what we've gone through. And I truly, truly, would appreciate if you would share your part, because it's just going to help the consensus, the general consensus. At the same time, there's nothing to be ashamed of, because it's a part of my story. Everybody going to hear about the shit. You already know. It's a part of my story. I don't have a choice but to share, especially with men who are dealing with teenagers and young men, because, man, like it or not, you'll be, if you, providing you make it to that destination and you procreating out here, the situation will come back to you. It's like we got to clean it up before it comes back. You know what I mean? So, All is well, man.
It's just basically using different experiences I've been through and just learning from those and being able to realize right from wrong, being able to realize, how people see things versus how it really is, and then being able to just, know I have a responsibility, know I have family to take care of, know I have a, true responsibility, and know that as well as we all do, and just knowing by that, knowing by everybody goes through things, everybody has experienced different things, but we grow by being who we are, representing what is truth, and then living by what we know. Because if we don't do that, then we're going to be the ones to have to face something at the end. And we already know what the truth is, what it has always been, and we already know what everything can lead to. And when we know we have the ability to change something, we're going to do that. We ain't gonna get in the way of it, and that's just my full take on it. Because out of everything, I know I'm well. I know everybody who I care for is well, and I know I just have true responsibilities moving forward, and I know I have a mission. I have a mission, a mission to complete because this is full reality. This whole reality, and I know with everything that's in this world, with everything that's created, with every different thing we know about. A lot of things people know about, they don't even know, the full meaning or details within it. But let me tell you one thing, though. We have the ability to do anything. We put our minds to, and just knowing that I'm going to go hard, I'm going to go my hardest. And I know that's just what I'm set for. And, Tabitha dies at 3, so I can't really go too much. But basically, that's just that's what I truly is. That's what my representation.
Okay. Well, I know it'll be deeper on my end, bro, when I actually explain it because like I said, man, it's levels to this shit. It's levels to the whole process, like what we've had to endure, just the process of the mental change and just the perspective of seeing things from a perspective that is not one that we have been adapted to, and then bringing it to us and attempting to force it on us in a sense, and then taking responsibility for shit. Because anytime we go out here messing with the world gives us something, and if we're fortunate enough to receive it, then we'll actually explain it in that way. Because you know, you know, I get what you're saying, how you explain it, but bruh, it's way deeper than that. It's way fucking deeper than that. And I'm gonna say, my father came here years ago with an addiction to heroin. Okay, and it was one of the most eye-opening, heart-changing, life-changing experiences that I ever experienced. Okay, ever experienced. I'm talking about one that stood me on my toes, considering, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to help my father not only keep from being homeless, but to shake this addiction. And it came all in a really big old package. You know what I'm saying? At the time where I'm having to balance things out, but it's nothing that we're not built for that we can't handle when it's put in our lap. So he defeated that, and he has been clean for years now. And to get off of heroin, I had to learn. I'm talking about for years. I'm working on him, thinking he good. I go give him a Milky Way bar, and next thing you know, he wanting to go to the hospital. Want to go? My goddess here, she's got degrees in certain things at human behavior and behavioral science, and she was like, I sure hate to be the bearer of bad news, but every sugar you give him, it responds as heroin because it's the same. It's enacting the same nervous system. It's inside of the same whatever system is that creates and activates that want or that desire for that addiction. Every bit of the sugar that I give him, thinking I'm pulling him back, will pull him back. And I realize it's like I give him a pack of those little miniature Milky Ways. After about a half a bag of them, so, my body hurting, like all that, like that old heroin stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I got past that. And on some real, I was in the streets. I wasn't addicted to drugs. I'm not gonna say I didn't try shit. I tried stuff unconsciously and consciously. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that I really didn't know what it was until after the fact, and then realized that no, you don't do that type shit. You know what I'm saying? You live through things to tell about it. You know what I'm saying? To share it, especially. And I'm not ashamed of the shit. You know what I'm saying? Because if I was ashamed, I would be ashamed to deal with whatever I got to deal with my family. Because I'm gonna tell you, I know growing up, born in 1968 in Detroit, Michigan, I know that our communities have been dealt, okay? I know that we've been dealing with some real stuff like all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's been in our community. You know, it was heavy. Heroin was like the foundation of what got our people addicted. Like that's what it seemed like. The opiates. I'm saying from my experience, because I was born in '68 with a open third eye, with parents who didn't know how to keep me from seeing everything that they saw. So I mean, I'm grateful that it was that way. In the aspect of that, I saw the music change. I saw the crack epidemic come, and I saw the structure of family change. Okay, I'm talking about heroin. It was so many heroin addicts in different people's family, but they wasn't going robbing grandma and robbing mamas and taking out the purses and doing all that kind of stuff. They wasn't doing that. Like not for heroin. Crack came along, and I'll be damned if the grandmama can't even have her grandbaby in the house, because that grandbaby, if he on crack, he ain't the grandbaby. He the crack monster. He gonna come and juice grandmama everything she got. He gonna be hitting her purse. He gonna be doing all kind of stuff. It's in all our communities. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like it or not, it don't matter. That's what it is. And we've been able to deal with it. We've been able to communicate with it, looking at how our communities are falling and rising, or whatever you want to call it. And we pay attention, but it is what it is. So here, we don't survive that. It goes everywhere. So, but because of it being something that is seasonal in some people's lives, and the people who really, really do that didn't want it seasonal. They wanted to create something that could be, all year round. You know what I'm saying? And all year round, I say seasonal because when the politicians change hands, it's harder to get shit and things of that nature. So that's just that. That's what it's been for years, based upon looking at the news and looking at everything. That's just how it goes. So since it's like that, they decided they wasn't gonna wait. They don't wait on nothing. You know what I'm saying? They said, okay, we're gonna run it back. We're gonna figure it out. So they created meth, and meth was not in our community. It was not in the culture of the melanated community. Period. You understand what I'm saying? Period. You understand what I'm saying? It was not in our community at all. But I'm gonna tell you something. It has taken over humanity. The hell with your community. It has taken over humanity. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because once a person gets in there and they get all the way locked in, there's no sensible return. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the return is not sensible. When I say when you do return, it's a good chance you're gonna have some things you got to deal with on a little bit higher level, and it's gonna be, just an extra trail of things. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. And this is the reality of what I know is. It's not something I made up, because I know people who have suffered prior to me even thinking that it would ever be a part of my circumstance. Because I just honestly tell you, I never would have thought that any of my children would have ever thought that going to anything that was, like man-made, especially, and not come to me first or at all, would be preposterous. But it is what it is. So my young king's experience is a little deeper than what he's saying. Yeah, he came to terms with what he can do, but it's a real after the fact thing. It's a real after the fact thing. It's an after the fact thing in the fact that I'm gonna put it on the line, y'all. Like, y'all know what it is. We had to come to the point of, if he's going to stay, or if he wanted to leave as a result of coming back, and we knew that he was going to do something different that would not be helpful for him, then everything that he was proposing, he would have to do that, and he'd have to work himself out. And in that, when you talk that gang bang shit, you get jumped in, you get jumped out. So this gang right here is a little different. This is a soul gang. You know what I'm saying? You can't really get jumped out. We have to give you permission to get out. The ancestors have to do that. The ancestors ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? So in the aspect of, me being a man of allowing my young king to, experience what he chose to experience, he did what he did. But when he came back and decided he wanted to go back and do that, he had an ultimatum: to take the help that we offered, or either make a decision to get jumped out. And if you can get jumped out, if you can survive a jump out, and take it how you want to take it, because that's a grown man. I'm a grown man. That's my son. And I would put my life on the line for my son. If I knew that my son was going to go out here and be subject to something that was going to harm him, Yeah, damn right. I don't give a fuck how old he is. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to at least let him know that I'm there for the support of you, knowing you don't have to do no shit like that if you don't, you know what I mean? And if you still choose to, it's totally on you, but not as an agreement. Your word gotta mean something. You left home without even proving that your word means something. You know what I'm saying? And this is what is honorable amongst men. And you know, they did karate, they did, you know, different things, little squabs around, but they ain't gotten to no real squabble, you know what I'm saying, like that. So you can't go to the field thinking. So I'm like, okay, well, at least the least I could do is let this man know what fighting from the ground up, fighting from down to the ground, from the top to the bottom is. And if you can get past me, and the brothers let you go, which I know it ain't no getting past me like that because it's a spiritual thing. It's not like I want to beat up on my sons. I don't want to do no harm to my sons, but I know that in this avatar, and like it, you know, I know it's a lot of people like, oh, you can kiss my ass because I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do when it comes down to my bloodline. And I know that if I know that I've been in the field doing things that could disrupt my life and cause me, you know, death, and I've turned it over, even though I've called myself breaking the curse, but then my child or something goes get caught up in that same vibration, and I know that it's energy, man, go on with that, man. Go with that. You got the real one over here. I am all that I am. I am Source Energy God, King Malik. I ain't playing about it. I'm not bragging about it because I give credit to all the gods and goddesses. You know what I'm saying? All the source. We all are. But if you don't get it and you're not working in your power, that has nothing to do with me. I'd say just respect the fact that we all are, and let's utilize our power collectively and individually. And it is what it is. But he's home, and he has determined, he has decided, he has confirmed, and he has connected to his source and decided nothing about that experience was something that is beneficial for his now. And he's committed to me and his family. And that's one of the things I wanted him to say. And you pretty much heard him say that, but just in different words. But we'll be on here regularly because this is an ongoing family affair. And please, questions about any scenario, any situation, because it's still stuff in between that. We telling you the basic stuff. We get into detail about this, you're gonna be like, how in the hell y'all do that? Because listen, the day he wanted to leave, we had this talk with him, hadn't got no sleep. I don't never have no issues. I wake up 5:50 something in the morning, a little bit later than what I normally do, but I remember it was 5:52 exactly because I felt like I had to use the bathroom really bad. I jumped up, ran to the bathroom. As soon as I got finished urinating, I literally got really dizzy. And I was thinking to myself, like, wow, this is crazy dizzy. And I was thinking, let me get my ass back in the bed. And I was on my way to the bed. And next thing I remember is my goddess standing over me, shaking me, hollering my name. So I walked a few steps and I fell. I hit my head. I landed on my wrist, and I was knocked out. And to me, it's an awakening, man, because I know ain't nothing wrong with me like that. But I'm gonna tell you, right before that, the night before I went to sleep, my goddess was complaining about chest pains. She was complaining about, you know, energy that was just out of line. She showed me her rate on her phone, her monitor on her heart, and I read back 6 days. It had been no less than 100, 105, all the way up to like 156 on a regular basis. She could just be sitting there, and her heart rate go crazy. So I'm like, you know, I know what this is because she's strong as a bull, but I'm knowing the stress is heart pain. It's heart pain, and she's feeling mother heart pain, and I recognize that from the cries that I felt, because those cries that I felt from her were in my soul. You know what I'm saying? And I really took a lot for me not to like go hard and like be on some physical shit with him, because I don't do harm to her. For these years, if I know for the last 5-6 years she hasn't cried about something that I did. I can say if it was some personal shit that I don't know about, but I promise you, I put forth the effort to make sure that I'm not, violating emotions and things of that nature, because I've grown to the point where I realize it's just a part of me. You know, it's just we're a part of each other's experience. But yeah, so he's gone through that and he's remarkably turned over. But I put my hand on her. 11 minutes, I chanted, I received, I pulled from, I did my Reiki pulling from her. I pulled that energy. And I realized that after I got myself together and I came to consciousness and was cooled off and all my vitals were normal, 4 times checked the blood pressure, everything was good. Everything was good. I felt amazing after it. Source touched me and said that was to relieve the energy. But 15 minutes after I went to sleep, after I did that, my goddess woke me up and said, I love you so much, and you got a lot going on in our lives, and I depend on you so much. So I can handle myself. I'm gonna take that back. And I told her, no, 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 you can't take that back. Don't do that. And please let that go. Don't do that. So she was like, okay, well, she didn't answer. So I know how she is. You know what I'm saying? And I knew she would not accept that because she's very, very, very like that about very like that about the way she is. She's just kind of anal about that in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? But it's very interesting because I decided I agreed to, at the end of the day, go to the urgent care because she called the nurse line and they say, well, generally speaking, these things don't happen. You got to, we suggest you go to the urgent care or emergency. So I went and all the things checked out. We're there about 45 minutes to an hour. All my stuff. I'm waiting for the last test and everything to come back. And all my stuff is good, but in the process of waiting for my test to come back after they took the EKG off me, I look at the goddess and she's over there looking damn near purple. And she's like doing that pain thing. And I know the difference in when she's in pain. So I'm like, what's going on, baby? She said, my chest is hurting. And she showed me her watch, and I think her rate was like 128. And she's just sitting there. And I went, what's wrong? She's like, I don't know. It's just, and she said, the more it beats, it's starting to hurt. And, that's that anxiety again still. So I'm like, nurse, come here a minute. I don't know if she needs to check in or anything, but she's going through something. She told me about this some days ago. She told me last night, and I explained to the doctor what I had done and all that. But, and she was like, hold on, let me see. They pulled this machine in there, and they was like, we don't have the facility to facilitate what could be going on with you, so we're going to have to rush you to emergency right now while I'm in the urgent care waiting for my appointment to be solidified. Now, I still got to go one place and come back to wait for him to give me the clean bill of health so that I can go. But they had to take her on to emergency. So they're doing all of these tests and everything. So I go through what I'm going through, come back, and just as it is, the doctor says, yeah, just like you thought. It was a pressure thing. And he said, I do really feel like when you did that ritual, you pulled it from her. And I do feel like he's from Nigeria. He said, I do feel like when she said she took it back because of love that y'all had, y'all transmuting energy, y'all can pull it from each other like that. And that's what happened. And he said, she'll be all right. I said, I know she can't be anything but that because the love that she's got at home, it wouldn't be overstood. Universally, it wouldn't make no sense if something happened to her. You know what I'm saying? Universally, in the universe, to me, it wouldn't make any sense if something happened to her right now. You know what I'm saying? To me, on the other hand, yeah, because it'd be a test for all of y'all. I've been really like going through these tests. You feel what I'm saying? But for her, nah, because I know she ain't necessarily built to handle this thing just yet without me. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, but I'm here in full support. And in that, we know we choose, but they gave her a clean bill of health. And as we rode home, we decided that we will not allow the stress of anything outside of our knowing that we are in this for of the win. We have not done anything to deserve like any negative shit. Like we haven't done anything to make things negative on us, to put things negative on y'all. We haven't violated. I damn sure didn't put no curses on my life before you all because I know the Creator would not have given me access to you all with a curse on me that I would have to, that it would be throughout my bloodline. Yeah, the little shit I had on me, believe me, I chopped it down. You dig what I'm saying? I'm constantly chopping it down. Shadow work. Shadow he's not bigger than me. We equal. Like I'm cool with my shadow. My shadow is cool with me. My ego, we partners. We roll together. I don't utilize it that way. Y'all know I've had to dumb it down, or no, not dumb it down. I've had to make it secure, make it respectful several times as a result of just the love that I have for you all because I'm on some snap shit. I'm so grateful that my KS3 he said something one day to all of them. He said, one thing y'all might not realize that Source told me is that we know him as our father. We don't know him as the other guy. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of see traits of the other guy that I don't necessarily want. And I know the other guy. I've been working to keep the other guy's ass out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the other guy has not had that much discipline. And I know that I'm a disciplined being now, but that's a spirit. And I haven't had to deal with that other guy. So I don't want to have to put his ass in the chokehold, but in the process have to get him to deal with what I got to deal with because his darkness is real. You know what I'm saying? It's real. It's not gonna go away. So those who overstand, understand. You know, and it is what it is. But yeah. So Hamad, I had said a brief something about some of the things, and you know how, but I know that our agreement is our agreement at this point, especially because we walk through some shit. Like I don't have a trust out of my heart that I don't have. I know how much you love me. I know I was doubting the shit out of that day before yesterday, and I felt it. I felt so much, doubt, like because of just, like how do we get here? You know what I'm saying? And I have to look at myself, man. I'm the mirror, King. I'm the mirror. I'm not putting shit off on you. I promise you. I know that whatever happens has to be a reflection of some stuff that I got going on as well. So it's not like I'm, pushing it off on you like, hey, it's yours. You got it. Now I'm saying we both are responsible for a part, and let's go to the table and help these people with these parts. Let's literally put it on the table because there's nothing to be ashamed of, man. You walked out of it, son. You're a king to me. Like I told you when I hugged you the first time, I was like, man, and the hug after you told me what was going on, did you feel it to be different? Yeah, your speakers are.
Yes, sir. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I realized what you have had to go through and what you have had, the decisions you have had to make to even come home. You know what I'm saying? So I commend you, man. Like I say, I salute you, man. I salute you in the energy of source. I know that you are. I know that we are here to do some major things, man. But I do realize, just as well as you are with music, I think you should get just as well as with real estate and music. I think you should just get as well as the speaking this too, because I think an investor will really invest in what we bring to the table, knowing that the loyalty we have amongst each other is so solid, and then the things we have been through proves our loyalty. That's the receipt. That's the receipt for your ass. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes us the royal melanated McCullers clan, because we go through some things. We have gone through some things, and this is a small big part of it. Like this is a big small part of it. You know what I'm saying? And what we have to look forward to as a result of continuing forward. I love y'all. I love y'all. I know that we got this. And then, hey man, all I can say is again, which I'm gonna play that before we actually get off of this live. I want to constantly offer my forgiveness for anything that I have potentially done and didn't realize. Quit talking. Quit that I have done that I didn't realize, because we do some unconscious things sometimes, thinking that we're in the right lane. We're talking from this perspective of ego, asshole ego at that time. You know what I'm saying? Not a balanced and respected, can communicate ego, but one that actually it don't want to hear that other side, or communicate, or actually act like it has another side or something. But we are here to make sure that we support you all, in everything that you all do. And like I said, I wouldn't go give none of you all a loaded gun and I haven't taught you how to shoot. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even give you a gun with no bullets if I didn't know to teach you how to shoot, because I know eventually you're gonna get some fucking bullets. You know what I'm saying? So, and that don't mean you know how to shoot though, still. you know? So I love y'all, man. And please, somebody, if you will, because the strength is in you, man. You the powerhouse. Like for you to even, when people know what you went through, and like I said, man, it's in the book. It's in the book, so it's a part of what is, and it's not to point out no negative things. It's to show the power of the love. And disloyal is a process of, if you know how to be loyal to yourself, then you can be disloyal to no one. And then I truly feel in my heart, if you're loyal to yourself, then people who attempt to be disloyal with you will fall by the wayside so quickly, so efficiently. You know what I'm saying? That you won't even realize that they're there. You probably, especially for the reason that they're there. And then your power is so strong when you get to a certain point in your vibration, man, that people can't even come to you with that. You see it from such a distance. It's like you watching a reality show of the fuckery around you. You know what I'm saying? So we're here to win. So please share, man. And I know we've been on here for a minute, but it's not time is of no existence. This is something that I know a lot of information is going to come to get us back to this. And this has to be a part two, because we still recovering. You don't just recover by one conversation. You recover by actions and love and going through the emotions, man. So I share.
I'll share here.
Thank you.
Asha.
Ashe.
Thank you. Thank
Sure,
you
sure.
all. So
You always want to go.
you all can say your closing. I just want to say thank you all for showing up, and thank you for like this experience. Thank you for us having an agreement with each other to actually make change, to do change, to make this thing what it was already created, to be. Like it's already done. Y'all dig what I'm saying? Let's just ride it out. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's go because it's us. It's us.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for, like I said, I'm very grateful for you all. I'm grateful for you, Lamar. I'm grateful for you, Amir. I'm grateful for Nasir. I'm grateful for Amina. I'm grateful for Camille, Hamad, Kamal, Jamal, Nadia, Tatiana, Malika, Sarge, Simba, Zeus. Oh my goodness. Queen, Precious, wow, Taz, Jules, uh, Mania, Sasha, Asima, Warrior, Khadijah, my mom, my dad, so I ain't mean to put them before, but I'm like just, what I'm saying? I ain't put the other, the sentient being thing is just like what it is. It's all love. So, and the cats, my man Miracle, you know what I'm saying? And every entity that is breathing in within my space, within my vibration, that ever sees me, that knows that I am all that I am, that know that I know that they are in equal status to that, and I respect our experience here on this in this vibrational realm. And thank you for taking any time out to see any part of this. I don't know who the three live people are, but thank you for being present. Thank you for share if it does anything for the emotional growth. And please ask questions because if you go back and listen to this and not clear about something, but that part about dealing with addictions and teenagers and stuff, I'm on it. And my man, he's. You say, are you willing to help people that's dealing with addictions? Are you willing to help people, especially that have decided to get into meth, especially because in our community it's the hardest thing to probably get out of because we really have not. I don't know, man. It's just like what we got access to, I guess.
Yes, sir.
So if you're willing to do that, it would be greatly appreciated. And I would like for you to say what you're willing to do. Because you and I collectively, we're doing it. You know what I'm saying? But in the interim, because of this, I'm requesting, please reach out, ask questions, because I've had to do research and deal with the people that are in my professional community to be able to assist what we're dealing with. Because inside your home, I don't care how much support you think you got, it's more likely that who's in your home is not going to listen to who's in your home. You have to get a lot of times a representation that is you outside of you that can speak for you, that is not you, because sometimes the competitive things comes in because of the freedom of thought, you know what I'm saying, and so forth, so on. But all is well, beautiful family, beautiful source beings, all is well. And I command, align, desire, will, and intend for all prosperity and wellness and abundance to be upon us all as we thrive. And that doesn't take away your opportunity to speak, Hamad. I just want to speak for my last time and let it be known that I love everyone on this panel. I love everyone with inside of my vibration. And if you love me, I love you. If you don't love me, I probably still love you, but just don't stick with you. You know what I'm saying? So all is well. All is well, and it is always going to be well. Hamad, you may speak, King.
Yeah, I'm just truly grateful for the experiences, not only the experiences, but even the learning lessons. Everything that I can be able to learn, and just realizing how I can really assist people is by allowing people to be in there at the same time. Doing my part, doing what I know is correct for me. Doing what I know is correct for my situation, and knowing how. By doing that, I can realize how people really are, who people really are, and then allow them to be themselves. And anything that they come to me with because of how I carry myself, and then how they are, and then knowing that you can only accept assistance from people who are willing to understand your viewpoint and where you're actually coming from. At the
Indeed.
same time,
Indeed.
your situation, other people's situation. Some things, you just have to you just have to do what you know. And then aside from that, just anybody who comes along your path who, who may be even down a bad path with certain things, especially, just, do what's right for people. If you're a person who likes to give to people, give them the right thing in life. And if not that, if you're a different type of person, don't waste time trying to help people who can't be helped. Make sure that, and then that's how you can really assist yourself, and that's how you can really assist others, because others can learn just by realizing what you do every day. And then aside from that, when you come together, is everything comes together. It's not that you have any issues, it's that if anything you realize a higher awareness like you've always have, and then as a result you can come together with other people and just be able to do that. And that's what I just realized. That's what I'm grateful for. And I'm just very appreciative of that, because along my journey I've been through a lot of different things, and I'm just grateful that I am where I am now. I'm grateful I have the ability to do what I have the ability to do. So, and as a result, I'm going to go my hardest, and I'm going to make sure that I complete what I've set out to do, because I made commitments. I feel promises, to people who I really care for, and even aside from that, I just know I have a mission for myself, and that's now. That mission is now. That's forever, and that's just what I know is for me. And I'm just truly grateful for that. But I appreciate everybody, as well, for even, for the people who's showing up, or even for the people mainly that even, truly the people who have, who are on this on here with me, because this is a life changing experience. I'm just grateful that we're all connected. I'm grateful we have the ability to do whatever, and we're gonna grow together.
It's muted.
Somebody goes off. Okay, but respectfully, I salute you. I appreciate your open and honesty, and I say that as a result of these experiences, you have just raised the bar in terms of what my responsibilities are, because I have to be committed. Some brothers I know some cats that's like, oh man, he out there, let him be out there. The world gonna show him. Well, I can agree with that if I had done everything in my power, and I have, so I still don't agree with just letting them be out there in the world without some of the experiences that will change the world's perspective, change his perspective on the world as a result of you not giving him the proper foundation, and you just being okay with allowing whatever you see going on, because 90%, a very strong, high 90% of people are being raised by this internet. Children raising children, passing the phone and tablets over to their children, the same things that they watching, carrying on. You know what I'm saying? Getting them addicted and connected to that way early, which no negative energy is to be received from this. It's in balance of knowing that this is frequency changing, that we are here and we are going through some frequency changing, and all the things that we have access to are for the betterment or the worst of what we got going on. And you have to, when it pulls up, you got to do you want to even drive that car? I don't care how big the wheels are. I don't care how the horsepower is. Some of them shits is just too fast to be driving in the first place if you have not been driving. It's fun when you're going straight, but when you start wiggling and don't get control, it's not no more fun. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part of life. It's straight when you're happy and out there, feeling the zoom, 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 a zoom of this shit. And then, hey, what I've been doing, especially since I've had to deal with this with you, Hamad, I've been studying, and I've because I studied the heroin part, I just flipped it over, and because with the county, I'm a care worker. I've got classes that I could actually take that will cost, that are free because of me being a care worker. And I've gone in and I really researched that specific one. And that's why I commend you for controlling your process and making a decision against it, because it's a large percentage that cannot make a decision against it, because once it enters in, and I got receipts, bro. I got real life receipts. I'll pull up. I got some videos pulled up right now, because I was like, in case we needed to put them on here, we could share like this. These are the outcomes, and these are what results you get if you don't. But I know it wouldn't have been just for you. It would have been a point we're making it, if like, this is what I'm grateful that my king is not having to face, because I'm telling you, bro, horror stories for your ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, not a horror story that I want to bring into my life, not something I want to bring into my children's life, Not something I want to share with my elderly grandmother my elderly mom that's dealing with shit, or my elderly father that's dealing with shit. Not that type of stuff. So I salute you again, young king. Just you know you're on the path. You know what you're designed for. You know what you're built for. You know what you're created for. So
Yes, sir.
that part, that part. You know what I'm saying? So let's
Yes,
go.
sir.
Let's go. I've given my salutation of love, peace, and power. And as it is, as it so be, as it is, as it always shall be, love, peace, and abundance be upon every attempt or thought, every idea, every intention, every commandment, everything that is necessary for you to have and maintain your balance to create this whole beautiful paradox. And so it is. Ashe,
Ashe.
Ashe,
Ashe.
Ashe.
Oh,
Again,
shit.
Ashe.
thank you all. I'm
I'll
pretty much
share because I'm
finished.
definitely.
You know, what's up?
Ashe, so it is. Healing and wellness be within all.
Indeed, indeed. So if anybody else has to say something, it's cool, but we good right
I don't have anything else to say.
Other than the fact that I love absolutely
You as
everybody else
well.
on
Thank
this
you so
live,
much.
I have nothing
Thank
else
you.
that I
Love
need to
y'all.
say. And I will continue to show it to each and every last one of
Love
you
you all.
because you've never done
Love you
anything
too, Miss
to make
Ruthie.
me want to
now.
do otherwise or become
Thank
disloyal
you.
or anything.
Thank you. Well, y'all know. Just ride it down on mine. I told
Yes,
y'all.
sir.
I told y'all. What's up, Malika?
Love you all.
All
We
right.
love you too. Thank
What's
you.
up, Jamal?
Love you
You
great as
too.
well.
Those are more.
I
Those
love
are
you
more gifted.
Love you too. Thank
I
you.
love you so
much.
much. Appreciate you.
Love you, Malika.
Thank
And
you,
Hamad,
man.
one thing I want to say and mention, have we shown you unconditional love since you've been back?
Yes, ma'am, definitely.
Very supportive,
No
Yes,
judgment.
ma'am, definitely.
No
judgment
judgment.
free, huh?
Yes, ma'am, exactly.
I haven't been any different with you since
Judgment
the day
free.
you picked up that phone and I found out that you were alive, have I?
No, ma'am, not at all.
Unconditional love, right?
Exactly, yes,
And
ma'am.
for anyone watching this that may be dealing with a child, a parent, because I've been there, done that too, that
Spouse,
is dealing
anybody,
with an
yeah.
addiction, whatever the case may be, the best thing you can do is offer them judgment free, unconditional love. If it's unconditional, it would be judgment free anyway. But I just wanted to make sure that I specified judgment
That
free
part
part because
incredibly
that's a
clear.
very important aspect of their recovery.
That is the part. That's the
They don't need you to judge them, they need you to love them and understand them.
that part.
And if nothing else, I will that you all walk away with that, especially for those of you all that may be dealing with someone with an addiction in their life.
Indeed. Thank you, Goddess. It couldn't have been put no more. The
You're
power of the
welcome.
mother. Thank you. Thank
You
you.
are
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
We're so grateful to be. Yeah, you're very welcome. Well, we're so
You're
grateful to have
welcome.
the foundation, set as we have it, and know it can't be shaken. No, it can't be shaken. It can't be shaken. So, hey, the ancestors gave us our confirmation throughout the process, and the moon is talking to me. The moon clearly is talking to me. The galaxy, the ether is speaking clearly. Source is clear about
Yes, sir.
I am all that
I
I
love y'all
love you too, man. Love you
more than ever.
more than
More
ever.
than ever,
Okay.
always and forever.
I love
Thank
y'all
you
so
too.
much.
You
Bye,
too.
Love you
Will.
too.
Bye, Lamar. Bye,
Peace,
Mom and Daddy.
peace and
Bye.
blessings,
I
man.
said bye,
Peace,
man. Bye,
peace to the
Mary.
gods and
Bye.
goddesses.